Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Heresy Hammer. My name is Rob, and above me, I'm joined by the lovely Will Henry. Hello, Will. How are you today?
Hello, Rob. I'm very well. How about yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've been painting Sons of Horus tanks all day today, and
Ah,
trying to get some Alpha Legion ready for the event at the weekend. And I'm basically trying to get all my commissions off the table by the end of Christmas. And what I need is Bernard's watch. You will be old enough to remember Bernard's watch. Do you remember that on ITV where he could basically stop
I
time?
I loved Bernard's Watch, along with like the Queen's Nose
Yeah,
and
classic.
Brum. Do you remember all that?
I
Oh,
do
good
remember all
stuff.
those
Yeah,
things, and
yeah,
basically, I need Bernard's watch to be able to get through
yeah, yeah.
all of these commissions at the moment. But we're not talking about my woes because what we are, in fact, talking about, if we go to the next slide seamlessly, get moved,
Da, da, da.
is the
Yeah.
Iron Hand. So Will is a true son of Medusa. He's put
Yes.
his arms into the fires of Mount Medusa. I don't know if that's what it's called, but into the. Did he fight? What did he fight? Fought a ginormous, great big snake, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, like a worm, like a snake, some sort
Big.
of slithery metallic snake. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Now, well,
And he choked
we
it. Yeah.
we are going to put our own hands into a metallic snake today, because today we are going to be talking about the Iron Hands, and Will is here to basically give his thoughts and feelings and opinions about the Iron Hands. Now, Will is a man who lives and breathes Horus Heresy, and I'm sure. How many games do you reckon you've got in so far of the new edition with the Iron Hands? Must be loads.
Oh, probably about 25, 30 now, I think.
Then
Yeah.
you're the perfect person. You're the
Yeah,
perfect. I mean,
yeah.
some people haven't even played 30 games of Horus Heresy since the first edition. So you're the perfect person
Amateurs,
to
yeah,
go through
yeah,
this. And you also, because I went to your house to play some Trench Crusade not so long ago, but
yeah.
you basically have the entire Legion upstairs in your house,
It's
so you can
quite
kind
a
of like
lot,
call
isn't it?
upon
Yeah,
any unit that you want to. So it's going to be fascinating to get your thoughts
yeah,
on different
yeah.
units as we go through this as well.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
but just before we start, if we just go to the next slide,
The next
just
one.
a
Oh,
shout out, just to say, don't forget we also run a Patreon as well. As Chancellor of the Exchequer, basically Lee's making me push the Patreon on people like nobody's business at the moment.
push the brand, always.
he's,
Yeah,
he's like, come
yeah,
on, Rob, come on, we've got to fill the coffers. We're like Rachel Reeves.
yeah, 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 yeah. Rachel
Don't forget.
Thieves is out.
No, we don't get political. But the only politics we're interested in is the politics of the 31st millennium.
Correct. And
So,
if you're painting the
yeah,
Arch Traitors at the moment, and now we're talking about Iron Hands, there is some real internal strife going on, isn't there? So,
absolutely. Anyway, so just to say, we run a Patreon. So if you love Horus Heresy content and you love the content that we do, then please go give us a follow. And you get loads of stuff on there, right? So on the
it's
first
good stuff, mate. Get
layer,
loads of gifts. Yeah.
on the first tier, you get 2+ extra tacticas a month. In fact, you're going to get 4 tacticas from us this month. Um,
How how much is that extra?
that's
What's that?
that's
£4 a
that's
month?
measly £4, measly £4.
Threepence, pennies.
And then we have our next tier, which is £6 a month. And then every 3 months, I think it is, you guys get entered into a prize draw where you could get a painted Centurion. Usually it's painted by me. Or alternatively, you can choose £100 voucher. And that's £6. Bargain. Absolute bargain.
That's a pint.
And you
That's a
get all
pint
of the
of
other things
Guinness.
before that.
Yeah.
And then at our top tier, you can get all of those things and then plus a reward once every 6 months as well. Now, the rewards are going out at the moment, which is a Heresy Hammer hoodie with some elite merchandise. And you sign up for that for 6 months, and then in 6 months' time after that, we will send you some goodies. And then that basically rolls over every 6 months, depending on what's in the cycle. We're
Good stuff.
scheming. We're like Machiavelli. We've got some mad schemes going on at the moment. So we're looking forward to
Mm.
showing you what the next thing is. And the next thing is going to be good for gaming. We did
Ooh.
some things ready for autumn and winter with our hoodies, and next one is going to be good for gaming. Anyway, go and give us a follow, become a member for a little as £4 a month, and you can get loads of extra heresy content as well. However, let's go into the meat and potatoes of this episode today.
The
So let's talk about
juice.
Iron Hands. So let's have a
Let's
look at our next
roll.
slide. So
Yeah.
let's just talk about yourself, Will. Now, Will has been on the show
Sure.
before, and
Yeah.
in fact, a number of times as well, because you
I
are a
have,
man who
haven't I?
actually
Yeah.
hosts your own podcast, the Merchant Princely podcast. But you've been
Yes.
around since The glory years of first edition, haven't you?
Been playing Iron Hands for 3 editions now. I feel very old and very tired. It's been it's been a long old road. I think
And
I've been playing. I think
yeah,
I think you and I picked up the dice at very similar times. I think it
yeah,
was
I
probably
suspect so.
over 12 years ago, maybe even pushing
Yeah,
15 in some
yeah,
instances.
yeah. I
So
remember that when book one came out,
um,
when Angron dropped for the
yeah,
first
yeah,
time,
prime example.
and
Yeah, yeah.
then
Be like, what the hell is this?
I was
Like,
hooked. I was in. That was it.
what? It's
But
amazing.
you
What's time to
have
be
been
alive?
playing Iron Hands for some time, but also Raven Guard and Salamanders. You've dabbled is a
Yeah,
not a good enough word really, but you have kind of played
they've
those legions previously as
yeah
well, right?
they've been my principal legions that I've played throughout all 3 editions. So
Mm,
Salamanders for first, Raven Guard for all 3 editions, and
mm.
Iron Hands for all 3 editions as well. So
And
and then
what
some dabberings elsewhere as well. So
and then what draws you has continued to draw you to the Iron Hands, particularly for this edition. What is it about them?
oh, so I just I really get a kick out of the lore from them. So the Horus fan atrocity, which we've obviously has come full circle again
Yeah,
with the release of the book that I'm sure the pair of us have both listened to or
I
even
have.
read in
Yeah,
some
I finished that
instances.
only the other day. Actually,
Um,
yeah, it was good.
really good read, actually. I really,
Yep,
really enjoyed it, and that especially took me back to the early days
mate,
of Isfam 5,
literally. Yeah.
because I remember, I remember, I think I was moving back from uni, and I found Horus Rising in my like room or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and I picked it up, and it it just begun. Like I just couldn't put it down, and I knew nothing of what like I knew the outcome, but I didn't know anything of any of the stories of like the whole thing. And then
Yeah.
getting to Isfan 5 was just like, oh my god, like this is unbelievable.
It did feel like a
And
really
then
like going back and reading the Dropsite Massacre book like this time in the past week. It did feel like going
yeah,
back to those earlier books. I think I mentioned this
it
in the
really
show with
did.
Lee. I was
Yeah,
like, even the writing
yeah,
just felt like, man, this feels like I'm reading one of the first 10 novels within the series.
yeah, absolutely beautiful. And
Mm.
I think the Iron Hands, especially within that, they've always had a place in my heart for a broken outfit that actually keeps on coming back,
Yeah.
and you just can't get rid of them.
Mm.
They obviously arguably suffered the worst of the three loyalist legions at Isfan 5, but
Mm.
they just continued on. They just through the teachings of their Lord and Savior Ferrus Manus, the internal politics that he kind of instilled of the Legion and the like command echelon
Mm.
actually paid a lot of dividends towards them to like wage this guerrilla war going forward for the next
Yeah.
like 20 odd years of the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
And I really got a kick off that like determined determined shattered force,
Mm.
constantly fighting, constantly pushing, always being a thorn in Horus's side.
Yeah.
And just I was thinking about this the other week as well, and I think one of the biggest losses on Isfan 5 was the fact that in the space of like a day or whatever it was, like a week, the Emperor lost like the three science primarchs
Yeah.
in Ferrus, Perturabo, and Vulcan, like
Yeah.
the three scientists that were there to like make the unique stuff, build the unique stuff,
Yeah.
and as a man that likes building stuff as well and using my hands,
Yeah.
the Iron Hands come along with that, especially Ferrus, very very much so. So
Excellent. Okay, so they're a
I
legion that
have quite a lot of
basically speaks to your soul.
truly
Is what I'm going
does,
to say.
yeah.
That's
Cold and remorseless as well. So,
excellent,
yeah,
excellent. Well, I'm sure we'll find out more about Will's love of the Iron Tenth as we go through this episode. But let's
yeah,
just move on to our next slide and let's get
marvelous.
into
Yeah,
it. So, as we've said before, we're trying to get through as many deep dives as we can before Christmas, or at least before the new year.
yeah.
We've got a number of them planned this month. This is the first of this month's episodes. I know we've got Alpha Legion coming. I think we've got
Oh, lovely.
Salamanders coming this month.
Ooh,
I know that there was talk with Dan Kennedy and Jamie Foxx about doing militia or solar orcs as well with League.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
so
hot.
that's
Yeah,
gonna be. I suspect they're gonna have to break that one into two. But there are
it's a big boy. That
many
yeah.
more coming as well. I don't know when we're going to be able to do Thousand Suns like that. That feels like a two-parter to me, just because of we'll have to put all the magical
Mm.
shit into one episode, and then all
You'll have
the
to
other.
just summon Magnus to help you.
It's
It's
the
the
only
only
way.
way.
We can take
Yeah,
our eyes
yeah,
and give it for the knowledge.
yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to have a look at the Iron Hands today. So let's just quickly go to the next slide.
To the next one.
So, who are the Iron Hands? So, Will's just briefly given us a bit of an overview. So, they come from the world of Medusa, and I guess correct me if I'm wrong here, Will, but one of the things,
Please.
their tagline is "The flesh is weak," and they're all
Yeah,
about kind of improving themselves with mechanisms, with iron, with
yeah. Technology,
cybernetics,
science, all of these
and
things.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And I had thought that one of the things you had to do to become an Iron Hand was to remove your right arm and replace it by a bionic. But I don't. I think
Mm,
I don't think that's the case. Maybe I read that somewhere, but maybe that's not
no,
the case.
yeah. Maybe that's
Um,
a like a 40k codex thing for
yeah.
one of the
Okay.
clans or something. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
But they're kind of based on this clan structure, which is why the clans kind of come up within the Horus Heresy, or at least
yeah,
within the Black Books. They come up in some of the kind of like the laws as well. But obviously, because of their relationship and their relationship with their own flesh and augmenting their flesh, they obviously have massively strong ties to the Mechanicum, and that really
yeah.
shows through in the way that they play on the tabletop.
Oh, hugely so.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just with the fact that their HQs and even with their unique detachments, they've got an opportunity to take cybernetic units in a way that perhaps other legions don't necessarily can't take them, which is pretty cool. So kind of like doing Iron Hands and like mech as allies, I think is always quite
they go hand in hand very well. Yeah,
law appropriate, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
At ISFN 5, they obviously lost Ferrus Manus to Fulgrim, but they weren't as devastated as a legion as a whole, were they? On that kind of
No,
on the
yeah.
massacre, so
They actually got
they
off
lost
quite lightly.
they lost their
Well,
first
yeah,
company, right?
yeah,
But the rest of the legion weren't necessarily mauled in the same way that the Raven Guard and the Salamanders were mauled. Am I
yeah,
right in
yeah.
saying that?
Yeah, this is completely accurate. Yeah, and I think it really is testament to how hot-headed and how volatile Ferris was,
Yeah,
especially coming from Medusa as well, which is like it's like a really harsh and inhospitable planet.
yeah,
It's like the tectonic nature of it is very hard, and the people
yeah,
from it are always hard, hot-headed, brash
yeah,
people, and that really plays into Ferris. And arguably one of the worst things that was done in the heresy was him leading that assault so passionately
yeah.
and so venomously ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I think to give Horus credit as well, I think he played to the nature of his brother very, very well. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, he laid the trap out perfectly for them. Although
yeah,
it's interesting, the Drop Site Massacre book and in the journal, the part 1 Isfan journal, basically, like in the Isfan journal, they were saying that there was no other way. Like they had calculated it, and like savants on Terra had calculated
mm,
how to assault Isfan 5. And basically, there was no other way apart from this, just like full on drop assault, this
yeah,
full
yeah,
frontal
yeah,
assault, to be able to do it. And any other way was basically just like a forlorn hope,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
which I thought was pretty cool. And the other thing that come out of that book, which I thought was awesome, was like that even within 4 hours of that massacre taking place, like that was there was more destruction on that world in the Urgal Depression than there was like in a whole entire campaign against like a star system or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was crazy, some of the.
A system of compliance was
Yeah,
less than
it
that.
was
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
Like within that 4 hour period. Anyway, okay. Well, let's get into the rules themselves. So we should just have a look at
Mm.
the next one. Okay, so talk us through the Gorgon Scales. So talk us through the Legion Tactica. What is their rule and why is it good?
Yeah. So this actually hasn't changed in 3 editions now, and I think it's testament to actually how nice and good this rule is.
Mm,
So to summarize it, it's when you play someone, your enemy shooting attacks are just -1 strength when they target anything that isn't a tank or a fortification. So anything that's like an iron hand, like boots on the ground, your guns are -1 strength in all phases of the game. If it's intercept, if it's a shooting phase, if it's assault, whatever, it's always just -1 strength. And as it says here as well, I think it's taken a bit of a change from second to third, but in this edition, it's made them a lot more survivable against like mass low strength shooting is now much harder, is much worse against these guys. And it does actually, the amount of times and the amount of glee and enjoyment I get out of correcting my opponents to, you're -1 strength, mate. I'm bloody minus. So and it comes up all the time, and it's every shooting attack as well. So if they're volley firing or if they're overwatching, whatever, it's -1 strength, -1 strength.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. So it would be, I guess, now somebody statistically can tell me whether this is accurate or not in the comments. I suppose this would be better than the Salamanders rule because with the Salamanders rule, it's not going to matter for bolters, right? Because you're never going to wound them on ones and twos. But for an iron hand, it will always be harder to hit with bolters. Whereas Salamanders, it comes into their own when you've got like strength 6 or above weapons, right? That's really where it kind of like comes into its own against like normal tacticals. But this just comes into its own, whether you're a tactical, whether you're a Terminator, whether you're a Saturnine Terminator, whether you're a Saturnine Dreadnought, right? Doesn't matter. Like, it's always on. So, making those like Dreadnoughts tougher in a world where Dreadnoughts are so much more vulnerable to damage 2 and damage 3 weapons now.
Damage weapons,
I think is really, really nice. So
it is good. I think it's a lot more manageable now for people to kind of get their like mental load around it when they play. I think it was a bit heavier in second because we had different, because how stuff died with like damage, instant death and things like that.
I was literally just about to say that, which is that it was a nightmare facing iron hands when you have strength 8 weapons because you couldn't instant kill them, which is what often as a Legion player you were reliant on.
Gave them that extra level of strength.
Exactly.
But in this instance, it's, as you said, it works really well on some things. So I found Terminators especially are kind of immune to small arms fire now, which is pretty insane. And Saturnine Dreadnoughts and Saturnine Terminators especially, against the certain weapons that their armor reduces the strength as well on top of the Legion trait. Like it's 4s to wound Saturnine Dreads with melter guns. Sorry, Saturnine Terminators with melter guns, which is pretty mad, and
it's crazy.
Like a Kratos against a Saturnine Dreadnought would be a melter Kratos would win it on 4s rather than like 3s.
That's nuts. That's
so. I think it's kind of a wash with the Salamanders trait. I think they have their own ups and downs, but I think they're almost. I think if you're going to go statistics wise, they're pretty much the same. But I think this one works better against like mass fire and stuff.
And just one more thing I'm going to say. You've always made this point, which is that it's one of those rules which actually affects your opponent, not you.
Correct.
Which is interesting. So like your White Scars, for example, you get the +2 to the movement. But actually, this is affecting your opponent rather than affecting you, which is an interesting concept as a
And it's quite cool that all 3 of the Isfan 3 Loyalist Legions all have that same style of rule.
Yes.
All 3 of them affect more how your opponent plays, how it affects how you play. So.
It's interesting. Cool. Okay, let's have a look at what is next then.
Cool.
So our Legion Gambit, Legion of 1. Talk us through the Gambit.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange one, and I've used this 4 or 5 times now, and I'm not entirely sure the lore behind it and stuff, but essentially what it means is when you get if you use Legion of 1, when you get outside support when you're in like a challenge, you can double that outside support. So if you've got like a big block of like 20 immortals with your Iron Father, and you use Legion of 1, it means you get +8 to that focus roll.
Oh right, that's really strong, isn't it? Actually?
Which is pretty good, which is really good. But it only really benefits if you take larger size units or Legion standards, which I think counts as towards 6 or 4, I think it is.
Yeah.
So
And
it's a good one.
your
It's a
opponent can
good one.
only gain
Yeah.
a maximum of +2 to the outside support
From
as
their
well.
outside support as well. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. So
that's pretty good. So I mean, it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
guaranteeing that you will always go first, but it gives you a good chance that you might be able to be
yeah,
going
yeah.
first. Yeah,
And
cool.
if you've got your big block of like Immortals or Tactical Marines or to spoilers, and you need your Iron Father or
Mm,
whatever character you've got, like Legion Champion as well,
mm,
to just swing first, it is a pretty good one to just
yeah.
dial in and use it. And what's nice about this one as well is unlike some of the other Legion gambits, you can use it in every turn. So
Oh,
I know there's some
nice.
that's like you can use it in the first round and that's it. But
Yeah,
this one you
yeah.
can just keep using. You can just keep using,
Interesting.
which is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Awesome. Okay, cool. Right. Let's have a look at what is next. I suspect it's the
Mm,
Legion reaction. Spite of the
yes.
Gorgon. Okay, talk us through this.
Ooh.
Has this changed much since last
This
edition?
is more or less the same, but it's
Right.
not shoot twice. It's
Right.
just shoot an extra shot.
Oh,
So
okay. So it has changed a little bit then.
yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
it's essentially the same thing. You've just got to remind your opponent that I shoot a little bit better when I overwatch you, but it's only if you overwatch. So if you get into combat on a setup move,
Yeah.
this is not you. This isn't usable as an option. And
Right. Yeah.
I've very much found I used to always have it in my pocket in previous edition
Yeah.
in the previous edition. I found I probably used this only 5 or 10 times now out of all the games that I've played.
Yeah. Interesting. Because people have got so close to you that they're just like,
They're
boom,
just
setup
it
move in.
just
Yeah.
in on the setup, but it is a good like pocket one to have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
on
interesting this one,
units
isn't
that
it?
yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, this would be really good against a 10 on or being used on a 10-man melter squad because you're like, oh yes, it is
Yeah.
20 shots. Um yeah, that's interesting. But probably you know, if you're yeah, just in general, I think it's just going to be really strong. But
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice
yeah.
simple one as well for your opponent to remember, and
Mm,
it's a nice simple one for you to remember as well as an Iron Hand player. And
yeah.
you can certainly build units around it. So
Mm,
like, and I think it kind of does tie into the Legion Gambit as well, in
yeah.
that the larger the squad, when
Mm,
it comes to combat, the more benefit you get from this, as well as your Gambit as
yeah.
well. So if you've got like a big block of like 20 Immortals, which is like
Mm,
the case in point for this,
mm.
that 40 Volkite shot goes to like 60 shots.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really
suddenly you're
nice.
putting out a lot more.
Yeah, I
You're just
suppose like
minimizing that chance of getting to combat. So
yeah, using this on a yeah, like a metal squad, you know, you're gonna
yeah,
overload. It could overload
yeah,
and then
yeah,
kill
yeah,
kill the guys
yeah,
immediately that have got
yeah.
them. So yeah, that's
Even just
interesting.
like Terminators with combi bolters, it's just
Yeah,
that extra little bit,
yeah,
extra
that's
shot, which is
useful.
nice. So,
Yeah,
but
nice.
you really get your value out of this when you've
Mm,
got like not heavy weapons, but well, yeah, I suppose heavy weapons that are just one shot but high value. So
yeah,
melter, las
yeah,
cutters, short range combat based weapons that when
yeah,
someone comes close, you can say, "I'll just shoot twice," and
yeah.
it's like,
Exactly. Yeah, the things that are
oh,
typically one shot and then yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
nice. And then is this one that you can only use once per game, or is this
It
one that you can once?
is once per game.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably
It's
right that
not.
it's once per game. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I see that the White Scars one wasn't fact, so that was clearly always
Correct. Yeah,
meant to be the case, which is a little bit alarming because you're never
yeah,
ever going to be able
yeah.
to get in close combat with those
It's
guys.
pretty infuriating. And the Night Lords one is you can use that more than once as well, which is the same thing. They just run away before combat, which is
Crazy,
also infuriating. So
crazy, cool. Okay,
scumbag Night Lords. Yeah, yeah.
cool. Let's have a look. What is next? So our unique detachments now. Iron Hands, the greedy bastards. They've got two. So they've
Cheeky
got
little
an
ones. Yeah,
auxiliary detachment called the Spearhead Phalanx,
yeah,
which is made up of a shock assault, heavy transport, and a pred. But
yeah,
the transport must be a Land Raider or a Spartan. That was probably always going to be generally the case in that one.
yeah.
But this is quite nice, isn't it? I
It's
mean,
a
you've
good
got
little detachment, and
yeah,
it
it's
really
nice.
ties into their rights of wars from previous editions, and it ties into how they kind of wage war as well.
Yeah,
So it from a law perspective, it's pretty awesome, and from
yeah,
a rules perspective, who's not going to want a big block of Terminators, a Spartan, and a Kratos?
yeah,
It's perfect. It's
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I quite like it. It's just flexible, and it draws in three what would usually be separate
yeah.
detachments into one, which is
Agreed.
really really nice.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we've got the Medusa Vanguard, which is an Apex, which of course can only be unlocked by a high command. So
yeah.
the command.
Specifically, an Iron Father or Ferrus Manus, which is
Okay,
interesting.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
actually not a Praetor. If I just
yeah,
took a normal Praetor, okay.
yeah, yeah.
So it's got a command in it that must be a Praevian. But
Yep.
interestingly, it's a prime slot, and the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
time I can recall seeing a prime slot on a command for a detachment is on the Ultramarines one. So that's interesting. So
Oh,
that'll be
yes,
good
yes.
for logistical benefit, or making him a combat veteran, or making him a super duper
Yeah. So this is a bit
character
of
of
a
battle.
weird one because the Pravian you can't really give anything to. Um,
Right.
he doesn't really have a lot of like weapon options that you can upgrade him to. So you could
Okay.
make him a paragon of battle, but you wouldn't get a lot of mileage out of that.
Got it.
But as you said, it's a great logistical benefit.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's also, I think, a really good Iron Hand opportunity to use the Iron Hand uh, prime advantage,
Got it.
which ties into what you can take within the Vanguard as well.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay,
yeah,
interesting. Okay, nice. And then within that, we've got two shock assault. We've got a war machine, and then a support as well. Are you
yeah.
tied into those particular ones? Like you don't have to take automata in that one. These are just free to use from.
They're just free to use whatever you want. He can obviously take Automata. He can take Castellax as
Oh yeah, of course, yeah,
kind of
because
like a
it just gets
retinue.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
that almost just like if you take Praevian in there,
yeah.
that then just unlocks an additional slot within that
Yeah, yeah,
detachment as well.
which
Okay,
has to
that's
be
interesting.
Castellax. And I, prior to the FAQ, I really enjoyed this as
Mm.
kind of a bunker for your characters.
Yeah,
So with the Iron Hand Legion trait,
I know exactly what you're
and
about to say.
with
Yeah,
and with how tough Castellax were, and the fact
yeah,
that they couldn't take statuses, it was a
yeah,
really good bunker to put your kind of
yeah,
Iron Fathers and your Pravians in,
yeah,
which could then heal stuff around them.
yeah,
But now that they can take statuses, it
yeah. It's
does bring it down a
less
bit.
appealing, perhaps,
Yeah,
than
yeah,
which I guess
yeah.
is why combat vet is good because you kind of
Combat
like
vet on this is good.
you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
buff up his leadership and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
his cool characteristic, which is
yeah.
nice. I suppose again, this is one of those ones where you've got three different detachments coming into one, which is quite
Yeah,
nice. And
yeah,
then the
yeah,
fact that this can also be a logistical benefit just can unlock something
yeah,
nice,
yeah, yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I think the Apex, especially, you can build 3,000 point armies with only your Crusade and your Apex
Yeah,
fairly straightforward in this
yeah,
instance. You
yeah,
can get a lot of points in both of them,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is and a lot of
Yeah.
versatility, which is really
I
good.
was going to say to you, I was like, you could build like an army or
Yeah,
a significant portion of your army just
yeah, yeah,
from this alone, which is pretty cool. Have you
which is
found
great.
yourself
Yeah.
using either of these two when list building?
Yeah, so I generally lean towards Medusa and Vanguard,
Yeah,
um, just because it gives you some like even if you don't take the Pravian, you've still got some good slots in there as well. And I quite like. I've tried destroyers a few times in here. I've
yeah.
tried the siege terminators a few times in
Oh yeah,
here.
nice, nice, nice.
You can take like an arachne.
Yeah,
You can take rapiers, which is nice as
really
well.
good. Yeah,
And using their prime benefit as well. They're like Legion specific one. You can take like a second dreadnought in this,
mm,
which is really nice. So
yeah.
you can get your two dreads in quite comfortably, which
Easily.
is
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is
really, really
nice.
nice.
So yeah,
Okay, awesome. All right, doesn't seem particularly overpowered. I mean, it's not for goodness sake the supremacy cadre, but still decent.
correct.
All the same.
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
nice. Okay, let's have a look at what's next. So let's have a
Mhm.
look at our armory. I was looking at the artificer power axe recently because I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get myself some Gorgon Terminators,
yeah.
and it was quite a bit. This is quite juicy, I thought. The fact
Yeah,
it's
I think so. Yeah,
only -1 initiative. It's at base attacks. It's +1 strength. It's AP3. It's damage 1, but it's breaching 5 up and shred 5 up as well.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, like you're like, oh, okay. Well, if I roll a 5, it'll be damage 2, and it's also AP2. I mean, that's pretty nice, isn't it?
It's
Right?
marvelous, absolutely marvelous. It's just a juiced up power axe for
Yeah,
more or less the same points. It's
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was looking at the Gorgon. 'Cause we'll talk about Gorgon Terminators a little bit later, but as a
yeah.
weapon, just that they come stock with, the Artificer Art Power Axe is actually just
It's absolutely fine.
pretty decent. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you could if you got a squad of 10 of them, you're like, I might just have 5 of them with like the power axis because
Yeah, yeah,
they're pretty tasty.
yeah, yeah.
We've got the grav pistol. So any command or champion may swap a plasma pistol for a grav pistol for 5 points.
Yep.
But they obviously have to upgrade the plasma pistol already.
Yeah, so
So
it
they're
becomes a
paying
little bit more expensive. It's
yeah,
about
so they're
15
playing.
points, I think, isn't it? So
Got it. And
yeah,
then the legacy units also add the grav shredders and
yeah,
guns to the special weapons list as well. So the grav
yeah.
pistol is strength 12. Oh, sorry, range. I wish it was strength 12.
Strength 12.
Yeah,
Whoa!
whoa.
Yeah.
So it's range 12. It's 2 firepower. It's 6 strength, AP4 damage 1. It's a pistol breaching 6 plus shock pinned and pinning 1. I mean,
Yeah,
both of those are just really nice. The shock pinned and the pinning 1.
yeah,
And then the
yeah,
grav shredder is 2 shots, range strength 18, strength. Sorry, yeah, sorry, range 18.
yeah,
Strength is 6. It's AP4 damage 1, breaching 6 up, shock pinned, and then pinning 1. So they all look pretty similar to all of the other grav weapons. It's just
yeah,
that these are
yeah.
sort of like solid shot weapons rather than being kind of blast templates, right?
Correct. Yeah, they are quite interesting. I mean, as both of us were part of the Grav Appreciation
Yeah,
Society
100%,
in
100%.
second ed, it's
Yeah,
kind of mad to think how Grav has changed.
yeah, it's
And
nuts.
what these do is they play in quite nice to those changes. Because what you can do is you can get pocket pinning,
Yeah,
which is actually really nice. And because it's pinning 1 as well, it's really
yeah,
good.
yeah,
So getting that Grav pistol on like a champion or like a centurion in a unit, you can try and put out another status, which is really
yeah,
really nice.
yeah. It's nice.
And having the pinning 1 is really really good, and it's strict. I think pinning is successful wounds rather than unsafe wounds.
Yeah,
So being strength 6, it's got a pretty good chance, like 2s and 2s on like a
yeah,
character, to just put that out,
yeah. That's a good point. I
um,
haven't really considered
which
that
is
because,
actually
like,
quite nice.
yeah, on a
So
character, like, you can't take a grav gun, so
yeah,
like that's not an
exactly.
option,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
hadn't considered. But if I was to force your hand and say you could go for a grav shredder or a grav gun, which one would you go for? Because I think for me, I'd probably go for the grav gun, just because it's a blast rather than the shredder.
Correct. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think in second edition, the Grav Shredder was the superior choice.
yeah,
In third edition, I think the Grav guns have got a huge glow up in this edition,
yeah, yeah. Which
um,
blasts have
which is
got to
yeah,
blow up.
yeah.
Yeah,
And being an Iron Hand as well, the Legion units that can take Grav guns can generally take multiple Grav guns.
hmm,
So the thought of putting down 3 or 4
yeah,
like templates from a Grav gun is
yeah,
actually really really good.
yeah.
But the Grav
Nice.
Shredder still has a place. It's
Yeah.
gone up in range from previous edition, so it's now
Hmm,
range 18.
hmm.
If you've got 3 of them or 2 of them, and you need to stop like a dreadnought coming towards you or a Spartan, statistically you should shock it and just pin it.
Got it. Okay, interesting.
So 3 of them over 3 grav guns,
Hmm, hmm.
you're doubling your chances to just put the shock on them.
Yeah. Okay.
So depending on what you want your unit to do, I think this has a very good. I think it has
Yeah, that's
quite a
interesting. I
good
hadn't really
use.
considered
So yeah,
that idea of actually kind of like the shock being it having more chances on the shredder than on
yeah,
a grav gun, but probably
yeah,
against
yeah.
infantry, the grav gun is probably better just to be able to
Because you can just hit more of
get
them,
more
can't you?
hits.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
So
Interesting distinction.
ups and downs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, cool. I think that's just generally how I find this edition, which is that there's lots of like a little on one hand and then on the other hand, right? It's kind of
yeah,
like it's quite finely
yeah.
balanced in that way. Cool.
It's
Okay,
one of
let's
the
have a
nice things I really think about third is that they've made
Oh
kind of
yeah.
everything usable.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
100%. It's not
and
like yeah, I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yeah.
nothing's universally the best. Everything has a place now, and everything has its
Yeah.
own like form of like application. And I
Yeah,
think
I
this is a really good instance of it.
A
So
100%. Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at
cool.
what
Next one.
is next. So we've got some other bits and pieces here. So we've got the Gorgon Terminator armor.
Yep.
So that's a 30-point upgrade for an Iron Father, Tartarus Praetor Centurions, and
Yep.
many of the Tartarus consoles. This grants them the heavy, feel no pain 5-up rule and counters wearing Gorgon Terminator armor. So
Yep.
I suppose my question to you would be, is feel no pain 5-up, considering how rare it is now, is it worth 30 points on a character?
I Feel No Pain's pretty unreal now,
Yeah.
considering the prevalence of it from previous editions to how rare it is now. To actually have that ability to
Just
to
shrug off all of the damage, right?
the whole thing
Yeah,
exactly. So even if you get hit by something like a shadow sword,
yeah,
12 damage,
yeah,
5+, see you later, it's gone.
yeah, yeah,
It is pretty fruity,
yeah.
but at the same time, you're already paying extra for that Terminator armor, and then to
100%.
pay another 30 points on top of it as well.
Yeah,
I'm not going out of my way to find 30 points in most army lists that I build that have
interesting.
characters in Terminator armor.
Yeah, okay,
But then if
interesting.
I have 30 points at the end and I've got a character that it's like if I put a unit in a block of immortals
Yeah.
and I make him a paragon of battle,
Mm,
so he's there to accept and fight challenges,
mm,
this is a great upgrade because
yeah,
then he's like 4 up, 5 up
yeah,
with weapon skill 6 or like 5 attacks or whatever.
yeah,
Suddenly
nice.
he can go toe to toe with like really good challenge based
Yeah,
characters.
yeah,
It is good. It is good. But I think
yeah.
the best thing about it is actually the extra bit of rules it does now as well,
Yeah, so well,
which is
talk
really
us
good.
through that
So
one because it can cause a status, can't it?
yeah, which is the weird thing about it now. I mean, and it's kind of hard to do actually because
Mm,
because you're in Terminator armor, so you're
mm,
toughness 5, and you're an
yeah,
Iron Hand, so you're toughness 6.
yeah.
Essentially from that shooting, so someone's got to do a wound to you, and then you've got to pass a save. But it then if you pass that save or invulnerable save, actually, I think it's both.
Mm,
They then have to make a cool check.
mm.
If they fail it, they then become suppressed.
Yes.
So they go to like initiative 1.
Yeah,
They
nice. And they
can't
can't
score or
score.
contest an objective.
Yeah. It's interesting this one though, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
on a go like if you were to upgrade your console
yeah,
or your whatever your commander might be,
yeah, yeah,
you're having to if you want to get this off, you're actively having to take the wounds on him.
yeah.
And then you're
Exactly.
because if like you go, well, he's with a bunch of like despoilers or whatever.
Yeah,
You probably wouldn't put him with despoilers really because he's heavy.
yeah.
But you're
You
kind of
lose
going,
everything, don't you? Yeah,
you're having to save it on him. Whereas with a Gorgon Terminator squad, because they all have it, it's probably just better because you're not having to choose like who it goes on in that scenario,
correct.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
But it is
interesting.
also a double-edged sword because if you put on Gorg, if you're using Gorgons as an
Yeah,
example, they've got Vanguard 3.
yeah.
So if you status that unit, then the unit can't score or contest.
Oh, and you wouldn't be able to gain
So you
line.
can't
You
score
wouldn't be able to
Vanguard.
get Vanguard. Okay,
So it's
really
a bit
interesting.
of a weird one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
But it
so
more just ties into you just killing that unit.
yeah, that's
So,
what. Yeah, I
you know,
suppose what you're
you just
saying
want to
is
kill that
it's
unit.
better dead
So,
than gaining the extra victory
correct.
points. Yeah,
Which I actually think the more I've played third, the more I've realised that you're better off just killing the unit than putting
yeah,
statuses on it,
yeah,
which is the
yeah.
weird thing about it. So
Yeah, it's
it's
interesting that one as well.
ups and
And
downs. Yeah.
also like suppress wouldn't stop them from reacting. They're not stunned. It's
No,
like
exactly.
they can
Yeah.
move backwards anyway. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
one. Cool. They've got the Armatus Necrotechnica. So
Yeah.
it's available to Iron Hand vehicle for 10 points. The vehicle gains the auto repair 5+. Additionally, if any models are removed as casualties within 6 inches in the same turn as the repair roll, it gains +1 to the roll. So it just kind of like sucks up their life force and then is able to
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
repair. So yeah,
Yeah.
truly
Yeah.
the machine spirits sucking on the souls of dead
Yeah.
Iron Hand
Yeah.
brothers.
It's
Um,
pretty good. It's
yeah,
pretty
yeah, so
nice.
that's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
haven't got like, I mean, why wouldn't you have like Forge Lords and Pravians and
Yeah.
Forge Fathers around in an Iron Hands list? But yeah, no, it's good. And then
Yeah.
we've got Ironclad. So talk us through Ironclad. It's a prime advantage.
Yeah. So this is weirdly kind of good
Mm.
in the wrong way.
Right,
So what it does is it makes one of your dreadnoughts a champion,
right.
um,
Whoa.
which is pretty cool. So you can issue and accept challenges.
Yeah.
But dreadnoughts generally now they don't have that same like punch that they
Punch.
had.
No, no.
So only being weapon skill 4 makes them
Yeah.
not great at winning
Yeah.
challenges. But what it does do, which is really nice, is it unlocks another warm heavy support slot, so you can take a second dreadnought.
Right.
Um,
Okay, that's great.
which
Yeah.
then I think, in regards to the Apex detachment, if you make
Yeah.
that Pravian a ironclad, he then
Yeah.
makes one of the dreadnoughts a champion, and then he unlocks another dreadnought.
Yeah.
So you can get your 2 dreadnoughts in quite comfortably. And I've generally found about 2 dreadnoughts now is actually quite good.
Yeah. 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 That's what I've
Because
been taking. Two
yeah,
conservatives. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think one's quite susceptible to just being nuked early doors.
Yeah.
But if you've got that second one to kind of
Got the redundancy, haven't you?
yeah, I'm a huge advocate of redundancy on units. I like twos of things or
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
and I think this plays to it really, really well. So
Yeah.
it is
Nice.
It is good, and it is quite fun when your dreadnought can issue a challenge and go. It kind of catches people off guard. They're like, "It can issue a challenge." You're like, "Yeah, it can issue a
Yeah, yes, it
challenge. Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
pretty
hasn't
cool.
got any guns, but it's going to kick you for four or
Yeah, yeah,
five
I love that. Yeah, I
rounds."
love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice one. All right, let's have a look at what is next. So we're going to get into the Legion units now. So we
Mm.
kind of talked about them quite a lot, but we are going to go deeper into the Gorgon Terminators. So they're
Yep,
a heavy
yep,
assault. Interesting one for these guys. So they're 200 points. There's 5 Terminators in the unit, as you'd
yep.
expect. They all come with the Gorgon Terminator armor. We've already discussed that one. Um, but there's a hammer bearer kind of like built into this unit already, isn't there?
Yeah,
So you got
yeah.
like a thunder hammer, and then all the rest of the other Gorgons have the artificer power axe and the combi
Mm.
bolters. What other special rules do I need to know about if I'm taking these guys?
So you got to remember about the armor that they're in. So you've got the feel no pain, and you've got the like deflect light back at your opponent.
Nice.
Uh, Beyond that, they're actually pretty good this edition. I don't understand why they're willpower 9 because I haven't actually worked out what that does.
Who knows? Who knows?
But they've got a strong power of the will, which is cool.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but they are just really tough. They're a nice elite Terminator unit that's quite cheap.
Yeah.
They're really
Agreed.
tough because they're Iron Hands and Toughness 5, and they've got
Yeah.
Feel No Pain inbuilt.
Yeah.
They're heavy, so they're like cool 9 essentially. If you've got the
Yeah.
Hammer Bearer still alive,
Yeah.
the guns are quite good. The options that you can buy them as guns are quite good because you can buy them grav guns and grav
Yeah.
shredders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they got Vanguard free,
Yeah.
so they are slow. But what I found, especially with these guys, is you're going to struggle to get Vanguard off if if you're chasing Vanguard. I find heavies quite hard to pull off.
I
But
agree.
what I found these guys are really good at is just sitting on an objective and
Yeah.
then keeping people away because
Mm.
they know if they go in and lose, that they're going to give up Vanguard points.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
because they're so tough now as well, like the 5 up being toughness 5 and an Iron Hand, they can be an absolute pig to kill.
Yeah.
And even like mass small arms fire will just do nothing to them.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah,
they are pretty
that's
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really interesting one. I hadn't really considered that you
Mhm.
may not need a transport for them just
Yeah.
because they are so tough
Yeah.
against small arms fire. I think in my head, the thing that I compare these with are Yeb and Keshig, just because they're similar
Yeah.
costed. I think they're
Yeah.
also 200 points. Those guys
Yeah.
have a baked in feel no pain of 6 up,
Yeah.
and their weapon skill 4 as well.
Yeah.
So they're not massively useful about like hunting just staring Terminators because they're going
Yeah.
to be hitting
Yeah.
on 5s. But against kind of like your despoilers and against your tactical squads and stuff like that, like they've probably got the weight of attacks, especially if you're taking like paired
Definitely.
lightning claws,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to be able to do some serious damage. And the
Yeah.
fact that you can status stuff, just it's reflecting that light back, I think is also really nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I have purchased some of these, so looking forward to painting some. And I thought this would be a nice little like I want to do
Yeah.
like a Saturnine Dreadnought squad of these, and I'm like a some sort of like Centurion of some kind. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that'd be a
Yeah.
nice little force add to the
Yeah.
Salamanders. So yeah, I think these are nice.
Yeah, they're really fun as well. So in previous editions, you've kind of never really understood what they do, but in this edition now, especially from what you were just saying as well, they're just like a bully unit,
Yeah,
and you're just using them to just bully stuff off objectives and try
yeah,
and sneak that Vanguard off them.
yeah, yeah,
And
100%.
they're pseudo immune to that kind of return fire from tacticals, and like even like Seekers as well
Yeah,
can't actually do anything to these really.
right. Yeah,
Because it's
they're
just
too
6 to
sticky.
wound.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so they're really good just bullying stuff off objectives, but they can't really go toe to toe with a lot of elite Terminators.
yeah. That's
They
it. That's it.
they can and they can't. Like I suppose the 3 attacks
Yeah.
is lovely,
If you
but
on
it's
those occasions that you roll well and you roll loads
yeah
of
yeah
5s on the
yeah
hits, it's going to be
and
fine. But any other
exactly
time, it's
yeah yeah
going to be
yeah
much harder. Yeah,
and the fact that the axes can be damaged to AP2 as well.
yeah, that's great.
They are just swingy. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's
So
exactly what it. Yeah,
yeah
that's
yeah
exactly what it comes down to. But yeah, it surprises me they're 200 points, especially with Feel No Pain baked in.
yeah. It's good.
So,
Yeah
but I
yeah
think
yeah
that it's the Feel No Pain for me that makes these the
yeah yeah yeah.
really,
yeah.
really decent. Awesome.
It's
Okay,
also
let's.
worth
Oh
just
yeah, go
pointing
for it.
out
Yeah.
the movements. They're like an inch faster.
Oh
So
yeah, that's interesting, and they're heavy as well. So that's
yeah,
yeah,
which
okay,
is
that's
kind of
interesting.
weird, but
Yeah,
yeah. So
cool. Okay, let's have a look at our next unit. So Medusa Immortals.
my
Now I
boys,
know
yeah,
you're a massive fan of these, and still these models, despite being ancient, are
some
still
of the
stand the
best.
test of time.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see if we get like an updated like plastic kit in some point in the future with these, or whether
it's got
these
to be
will
done,
just
hasn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because
The
they
shields are so good on these.
the shield's beautiful, and like outside of the shoulder pads and the shields, there's not a lot of like iconography on them, so
No,
they can so they are usable
yeah,
in pretty much every other legion if you
yeah,
wanted them
yeah.
to serve like a purpose. It's like
Yeah, 100%.
breaches or
Like a
something.
support,
So
yeah, breaches or a support squad or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Okay,
A
well, run us through
veteran
the yeah,
breacher
yeah,
squad.
go yeah.
Yeah,
So run
yeah,
us through the Medusa and Immortals then. What should I know about these guys?
yeah.
Why should I be taking them?
Yeah, so these are, I think, my favorite role for these guys in this edition now is just an annoying roadblock and a bunker for your characters.
Got it.
So the bolt guns now put out more shots at range, which is really good.
Hmm.
You can buy them all Volkites still, which is really good.
Really nice, really nice. Yeah,
Um, 1 in 4, sorry, 1 in 5 can take like a special weapon, like a melter gun or
yeah, it's great.
like a las
Or a
cutter or something,
grav shredder, right? Yeah,
or a
yeah,
grav gun or a
yeah,
grav shedder.
yeah,
Um, But beyond that, they are just like toughness 4
yeah,
guys. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
They are just toughness 4 breaches. But because they're cool 10 and they're heavy, so any character you join to that unit, as long as they are heavy as well, you go up
yeah,
to cool 11.
yeah,
So they are just a really good bunker for keeping your characters alive and just
yeah,
being really annoying to like chew through. Having
yeah,
that 3 up, 5 up, 5 up, and then having
yeah.
expendable 2 as well on
Yeah,
them.
because so you're less like if you have them in the open, your opponent's less likely to shoot them because they're just
It's
like, well,
fine.
I'm not going to get first strike on
Yeah,
this. So
yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
they've also got the shield wall reaction as well.
So they can
So
plus one to their. I want to say plus one to their toughness on top of
plus
that.
one
Is
to
that
their
right?
toughness, and then being an Iron Hand, they
Oh,
then become like Terminator tough
yeah,
for that
tough
whole
six,
phase,
pseudo tough six, I guess.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
really good. And you can also use that on you can use that on a Overwatch reaction as well.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, on a assault phase reaction. So
Got
if
it.
you really need them to be a bit tougher for one round of combat, you
Mm.
can like buff that up as well.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
shield wall, especially, it's the majority of the unit.
Hmm.
So if you add a character into that unit that doesn't have a shield, you can still
Mm.
use shield wall, which is really good as well.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
They're very different to how they were in previous editions. They used to
Yeah.
actually be surprisingly killy in combat,
Right.
but now they're not really killy in combat, but they're even more annoying to kill in combat.
Yeah.
So
It's
you're
perfect.
happy,
It's
yeah,
perfect as well that they haven't got Vanguard because you can just sit on objective and
definitely
gain the objectives for you're not gaining
every
additional
turn.
for line, but you are
Yeah, yeah,
gaining the max amount of VPs that objective
yeah,
can
yeah,
offer,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
really really nice. Yeah,
I
yeah,
really like
interesting.
these alongside a Master of Signal. So I think giving them line 1 or even Vanguard 1
Clever.
turns them
Yeah.
from like a 7 to like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah,
It
line one.
really,
Yeah,
really helps
I
them.
hadn't really
Yeah,
considered that. That's a great
yeah,
combination,
yeah,
actually. Yeah,
yeah.
really, really nice. Would you swap out for a chain sword? Would you do that, or do you think that because they've only got one attack, there's not much point?
Yeah, I don't think because I don't think there's any point anymore. Like they used to get like hatred, and they used to have 2 attacks base, and
Cool.
you used to be able to put like rad grenades in them as well. But in this edition, I think you just want them to just shoot.
Got it.
And I think the bolt guns might actually be one of the better options, just
Yeah.
because they can shoot twice at 24-inch range.
Yeah. Nice.
But I think the special weapons in these guys are really good.
Yeah.
If you've got 4 of whichever one you want,
Mm,
you've got to kill like 15 guys to stop those weapons
mm,
shooting.
mm.
And grav guns especially, like 4 of them shooting every turn with
Yeah.
blast and breaching 6+ and pinning 1 as well.
Yeah.
They become a real nuisance. And
Yeah.
if you try and drive a land raider up on them, they will just pin that land raider.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so, right, stop where you are, mate.
Yeah.
Um,
Love that. Yeah.
so
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. And
they
another
are
unit
good.
with
I
feel
like
no
them.
pain. Love
Yeah,
it. Excellent.
and another unit with a pen. That's
Yeah.
2 for 2, which is pretty
It's great.
insane.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
really tasty. That. Yeah, love it. Okay, cool. Right, let's have a look. What is our next unit? So the Iron Father. So this is a specific. This is specific to the Iron Hands.
Yeah, yeah,
They can take a Praetor. Like they're allowed to take
yeah,
Praetors. Is
yeah,
that right? But this is
yeah,
just
yeah,
another option because there is a model for it.
yeah.
So walk us through a 175-point Iron Father. Should I be taking him over a Praetor, like a normal Praetor, for example?
This guy is great.
Okay.
So
Yes, I should be.
I think you and I probably know quite well the risk of taking high command options now,
Yes.
with the potential to get up, say, the Warlord.
Yes.
But I think the utility you get out of this on top of a regular Praetor
Mm.
warrants the risk and the slight extra cost.
Got it.
So this guy, especially because he's essentially in Terminator armor, so he's got 5 wounds and he's toughness 5,
Love it.
with the 2 up, 4 up, and the feel no pain that's inbuilt as well.
3 for 3. Whoa.
Guys just horrible to kill. He's just really,
Man.
really, really annoying to kill. And you can buy him a
Yeah.
Thunder Hammer,
Yeah.
or you can buy him like a Paragon Blade.
Yeah.
And he's weapon skill 6 with 5 attacks, so he can dish out a lot
Crazy.
in combat. And I've had it multiple times where the character's like, "He's dead." I'm like, feeling pain. I'm alive still. Yeah, and then finishing blow with the hammer.
Yeah,
So really, really good. The fact that he's intelligence 10 and he can buy a cyber familiar, so he's essentially intelligence 12
yeah.
with a servo arm and battlesmith 2.
Yeah.
He's great for just healing up tanks, getting statuses off your tanks, healing up your dreads.
Yeah.
The utility that comes with them, I think, is really, really good. I think they're 100% worth it. 100% worth it.
Sounds amazing. Sounds very, very useful. And then this guy is one of the only ways that you can unlock the Apex detachment, the Iron Hands Apex detachment as well. So if you did want to take that, you're going to be forced to take this guy or Ferris Manus, right?
Yeah. And what's cool as well, here's another rule which is kind of tied to the Mechanicum ties between the Iron Hands and Mars, in that he can essentially take like a bodyguard of Castellax, similar to the Praevian.
Yeah.
So you can take this guy and give him a bodyguard of Castellax, and then you can take a Praevian in the Apex and give him a bodyguard of Castellax. And
I love that.
I found a really good utility role between the pair of them. So I take Destructors on the Praevian because they're more or less, they're going to he's going to heal tanks in the rear line, and then they're going to shoot. And then this guy was taking with Maulers, and Flamers, and I was just using him to just bully stuff off objectives.
Got it. Yeah. Just cause panic and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're all essentially toughness 6 from shooting.
Yeah.
He's toughness 5, and then he's an Iron Hand.
Yeah.
He hits like a truck because he's a Praetor with like a Paragon Blade or a Thunder Hammer.
Yeah.
And the Castellax are just really annoying to kill.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really good. It's really fun as well now. It's really cool that you can give them Castellax, and Castellax actually have quite a lot of use this edition.
Yeah, I agree.
It is a bit annoying that you can now status the unit.
Yeah, I mean that's what made it really fantastic before. But you can status them. But even then, I mean, he's going to be cool.
It's still good.
Cool 10.
I think he's cool 9 though, because the Castellax aren't heavy. So
they're not heavy. Okay, no,
you get none of the benefits. You get all of but he's still solid. He's still really good. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay, cool. Right, another Phil No Painter. So that's love that. So
I will say there is one thing that I think Kerry might have missed in this as well. There's there's an alternate option for this guy.
Right. It says at the bottom. There's an artificer or armored.
Oh yeah, there you
version.
go. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad, Kerry. I'm an idiot.
He almost got a sacking there, but no, he saved at the last bullet point. Yeah, so he's for 150 points. Do you think there's ever a reason to take an artificer armor-clad Ironfather?
Yeah. So I actually prefer the artificer version of this guy to the Terminator guy,
because he's not heavy.
Because he's not heavy and he's not bulky. So you can put him in. So you can put him in rhinos.
Oh, clever.
And the problem I found with this guy was that because he's quite slow, you kind of need to keep that nebulous of stuff around him.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
But when you can take the same guy but put him in a rhino or a drop pod or like a termite, you can get him where he's needed on the battlefield.
Yeah, okay.
And he's still, I mean, he's toughness 4, but he's still 4 wounds, 4 up, 5 up. So he is still pretty tough still.
Yeah.
And you can buy him a graviton pistol, which you can't buy this guy.
No, really? So, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you can put more statuses out, which is good.
Okay.
So,
interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I love that.
Really good. Really
nice
good.
One. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Inducti, so these are pretty similar across the board in terms of stats to everybody else. But talk about these guys then. So should I be taking Inducti in my list?
It's time to upgrade your battlefield with Sacrus Mundus terrain. Sacrus Mundus sculpt breathtakingly detailed and varied terrain that will bring your games of Horus Heresy to life. From the ruined cities of Armoria to the jungle vestiges of Lintrath, Sacrus Mundus design immersive battlefields for any type of tabletop wargaming experience you desire. Find their extensive terrain collections online right now.
I kind of hate Inducti, the whole premise
Right,
of
okay.
them. Yeah. But
Right.
these are unbelievable.
Right, okay. Talk us
Yeah.
through them, why they're good.
So they're not line 2, which is a bit annoying, but they're line 1 still.
But that's the
So
same with all the ones that have line.
with
That's
all
the
of
same.
them. Yeah. So 2 thumbs up for that still, which is
Yep.
good. You can buy one of them a Phosphex bomb.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, and
Lee loves a phosphex bomb. He can't
he
get enough
loves
of
a
it.
cheeky panic free, doesn't he? He's a proper dirty dog for it, I bet. Yeah. And it's no longer one use anymore, so you can throw them multiple times.
Whoa, phosphex bombs. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
bombs, and having implacable advance as well means you can throw it on volley fires as well, which is nice.
That's really
So
good. Yeah.
so you can just roll it out and do some
Yeah.
AP3 wounds as well.
Yeah.
And then they've got a special rule, which is essentially just a medic reaction, but on a
Right.
5+ rather than a 6.
Right. Okay.
So you get quite a lot from these guys.
Yeah, for 90 points, that's brilliant.
For 90 points. And you can buy them a Vox and you can buy them a Phosphex bomb. And then they essentially become the same cost as like a tactical squad.
Yeah.
So I really, really like these guys because you can put them in rhinos. You can give the rhinos like heavy flamers, and you can use them as an aggressive unit.
Yeah.
And because they can take a Phosphex bomb, you can then try and panic. You can try and panic units that don't have Voxes.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is absolutely huge. So they can bully like boys bigger than them fairly comfortably. And if someone does come and kill them, it's only like 110 points. It's like whatever. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting. It's the phosphex bomb, isn't it? That's the big thing on this one, I think.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Nice. Okay, love it. Absolutely love it. Cool. Okay, what's up next? So Morlocks. So these
the big
these
boys.
haunted Mind Nightmares in second edition because they were battle hardened 1. James, my good friend James, became my most hated enemy because he always took them. And it was a nightmare to get through them, combined with because it was also combined with the fact that the instant death thresholds, you needed strength 10 to
Used to be strength 11
to kill them, wasn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, you needed 11 to what? So it's very, very hard to get rid of them. They have slightly changed now. But they do have Eternal Warrior 1, which is basically what Battle Hardened essentially used to be. Talk us through these guys. Have you used these guys so far or not yet?
Yeah, so I've used them 4 or 5 times now.
Okay.
And they're really expensive.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't feel no pain, so they are a little bit squishy.
Yeah, okay.
But they are still toughness 5 iron hands.
Yeah.
With Eternal Warrior. So
Eternal Warrior 1.
las cannons just become 2 damage. Metal guns will still kill them, but it is good. But what's cool about these guys, especially, which is why I think they're really good, and I plan to use them more, is that you can buy them a Vox.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so they can take a Vox as well as like a Vexilla, Legion Standard, all that other stuff as well.
Yeah.
But having that ability to recover from a status at the start of your turn opposed to the end of your turn is absolutely huge.
Yes, brilliant.
And the fact that they've got 3 attacks and their weapon skill 5. So I've been using these, and it's about 350 points for the unit. So I give 5 of them grav guns and 5 of them chain fists.
Right, okay.
And that way, Anavox.
It's basically okay. It can deal with anything, but really you're gearing up to deal with tanks. Is really
But the 3 attacks going down to 2 attacks with the chain fist is still enough to kill a lot of tanks.
Got it.
Whereas I found like Terminators that have only got 2 attacks going down to 1 attack, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
But these guys, like, keeping those 2 attacks is massive.
Yeah.
They're really annoying to kill. Like Power Fists only become damage 1 against them, so they are like tough against that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Thunderhammers as well, Paragon Blades, all of the stuff that kills Terminators doesn't kill them very quick. Like Gravis Plasma Cannons on Dreads doesn't kill them very quick.
Yeah. The only equivalent I can think of is maybe the Imperial Fists, like
the Huskars.
I think they've got Eternal Warrior 1, and then the Deathwing companions in Cataphractii armor, I think would be like
Oh,
the
okay.
nearest
Yeah.
equivalent because they've got Eternal Warrior 1 as well. What would you transport them in? Would you go Land Raider
Ooh.
or a Dreadclaw or something like that?
Dreadclaw.
Yeah, there you go.
100% a Dreadclaw. So because you're spending so many points on the unit as it is, and because you can only go up to 5, I like to put 5 in a Dreadclaw
Yeah.
with a character that can issue and accept challenges.
Got it.
And then I bring them in on a flank turn 1, or if I fail that roll, I just bring them on turn 2 from
Yeah.
wherever you need them to be.
It's probably better to bring them on turn 2, I think.
Generally, yeah. If someone's deployed in a way that allows you to kind of hunt what you need to in turn 1,
yeah,
brilliant. But generally, I think, as you said, turn 2 is probably the more logical choice.
Yeah.
But if you've got the grav guns and the chain fist, you can get out your Dreadclaw, knowing that you're going to charge like a Land Raider. But then you can grav gun another Land Raider or an infantry unit, and 5 small blasts.
Yeah.
That are strength 6 with breaching. Actually, you can kind of cull like 3-up save guys fairly comfortably.
Love it. Yeah,
they are. I think they're. If you've got the points, they're really, really fun to play with.
Nice.
It's a shame that they're like 350 points.
Yeah, they're pricey for what they do. You're paying a premium for Eternal Warrior already. That's the thing on this one.
Really, really fun. Really fun.
Not Vanguard and can score.
No, they haven't got Vanguard or Line, so.
No, but they can score max VP that way, so that's okay.
Which is good. Yeah.
Cool. All right, nice. Let's have a look at what's next. So Shadrach Bloody Medusa. So
goddamn guy.
He's always been an interesting character. For me, he's never been like an auto take character, but he's always had like really cool, just really cool, awesome rules. But as I say, he's never been one that I'm like, oh, this guy must be taken.
Yeah. So I think the problem with him in this edition is that he, as you said, he used to always have a really cool, unique special rule that would give a unit he's with or give the army like a nice, different, unique buff.
Yeah.
But that's now gone in this edition. But I think that's universal across all characters. So
100%.
It kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's 170 points. So he's the cost of your Iron Father. Or he's more than your Iron Father in Artificer armor.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he has the panache of those characters. Like only being Battlesmith 1 is 1 less. He hasn't got the Cyber Familiar, so he's a bit dumber, which is a bit annoying as well. He's not toughness 5. He's not weapon skill 6. And his weapons aren't Thunderhammers or Paragon Blades. So he's kind of weird. I think for like, as far as like cool, badass characters, this guy is like up there. And I think his story's great.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has the same build your army around him and then benefit from the buffs that he provides your army. He's just a standalone cool character. So he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because he feels that high command. Yeah. It's always tough to be like, well, you get such a good use out of the Iron Father. Is this guy really worth it? But I think if you are lore driven and you want to create kind of like a cool story force and you're playing friends and your friends are running like Tibalt Mar, then he's like,
can you imagine?
He's perfect. He's perfect to take, isn't he? So
we'll have to do it one day.
Mate, absolutely. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Awesome. Okay, well, we won't spend too much longer on this guy. Let's continue
on to the next one.
Next. So the man himself. I mean, every time I do these deep dives, I always think these have taken a bit of a hit. The Primarchs, they're probably less interesting than they were before because of the way that the list building has now changed, but also what these guys offer. But let's focus on the positives. So 465 points, walk us through Ferrus Manus. What should I know about him?
I don't know how to say this, but I will never use Ferrus Manus again after what he was in second edition. He was put on such a pedestal in that edition. I don't think I'll ever suck on that teat again. But
nothing was better than second edition Ferrus Manus. He can't be beaten.
Brutal 3 at initiative. But saying that, I still think he's a pretty big dog when it comes to Primarchs in this edition as well. So he is still, he's got critical hit 5 on a damage 2 weapon.
Oh yeah.
So 5s to hit, auto wound at 3 damage, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
If he's in a challenge, he can be toughness 8.
Yeah.
Which against a lot of the fast swordy-esque characters, Fulgrim, the Khan as well,
Yeah.
they're going to be wounding him on 5s and 6s.
Yeah.
And if they haven't got criticals, they're really going to struggle to wound him. And he can't like hit like an absolute truck.
Yeah.
He's Batsmith 4 as well, so that tank, get it back in the battle, which is really good. His prime advantage is something I would definitely. Someone like prime advantage. His Sire of the Iron Hands is definitely something I would take because I very much like tacticals and breaches.
Yeah.
And giving him that 6-up feeling of pain for the first turn is nothing to be sniffed at, which is good.
No, yeah, 100%.
But in hindsight, I think, as you said, I think the Primarchs suffer quite a lot in this edition from previous.
They basically don't want you to take Primarchs. Is what I kind of concur. My thinking on this one. Well, let's just quickly have a look at his weapons on the next slide.
Yep.
So yeah, walk us through these because he's got more weapons than basically anybody else, right?
I thought it was damage 2. It's damage 3.
Whoa,
so it's
that's
actually
crazy.
Damage 4 when he gets critical hits.
Wow, okay.
Which is pretty fruity. So he's strength 7, strength 10 when he's using Forge Breaker.
Nice.
With 6 attacks at initiative 5, which is really good.
Yeah.
So he does hit like a truck. Like if you can roll a couple, like because you'll probably be hitting the good other Primarchs on 5s anyway.
Yeah.
But you're like,
his weapon skill 7, isn't it?
Yeah. Like
Abaddon,
hits,
he'd be hitting on 4s. Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty mad to think actually.
Yeah.
And then his guns as well are just like.
I love how they're like. They're not called that gun. It's like Alpha 12, Epsilon 4, 5. I love that.
It's a Plasma Blaster with +1 breaching. It's a Graviton Shredder with +1 AP.
Oh, right, good.
It's a Heavy Flamer with +1 strength, -1.
And panic
+1.
Panic
so,
as well.
which is good, and because he's got pretty sure he's got 5 programs free, so he can shoot all 3 of them, which is pretty nice. So
that's really cool.
He is good. I think, as you said, the problem with Primarchs in this edition is you need to get them into combat.
To get the most out of them, right?
Yeah, and do you put them with tactical marines or breachers, or do you spend the points putting with Gorgons or even Morlocks, which is the like classical quintessential thing that he would go with.
Yeah.
But suddenly you're looking at like a 750,
pricey,
pushing it to like 1,000-point unit.
Yeah.
And in a 3K game, I could kind of understand that.
Yeah.
But I think these are
it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I think these are more reserved for when you're doing thematic games.
I agree. So, I agree with that. Yeah. Or like 4,000 or 5,000 point games where you just like trying to tell a story or whatever.
Yeah. Put them in the middle, up against the other Primarch. We'll have a turn 2 fight for as long as it takes.
Yeah.
And then bash. Brilliant.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool. Okay. Let's have a look at what is next. So we got your 3 lists, because you prepared 3 lists for us.
I did,
2K, 2.5K, and then a 3K list. So, so have you used these lists, or are these kind of like things that you could be using? I assume lots of these units you have used already.
Yeah, so this is generally kind of what I like to take.
Yeah.
But I've tried to spread it out a bit so I could kind of show more examples of what I think is usable within the Iron Hand Legion.
Perfect.
But I've also tried to make it still like everything has redundancy and kind of has like a role.
Yeah.
And I think this one especially is for 2K. It's actually quite cool and quite fun.
Cool. So, okay. Well, walk us through this 2K list then.
Yeah. So I've gone with a Mortificator to start first in the Crusade. So his special detachment is he then unlocks 3 Contemptors.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I've then made him an Ironclad. So he makes one of them a champion and then unlocks another Dreadnought, but I haven't used that in this instance.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting, that, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I love that. Yeah, okay, nice.
And then I've given him a Graviton Pistol as well. And it doesn't show this on Quartermaster, but I think his Mortificated Staff is like a Force Maul, essentially.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, like a Power Maul. Yeah. So it's good at just bonking like 3-up saves on the head. Like,
got it.
Dunk, kill a few guys. Then we've gone for just a Centurion with 2 Lightning Claws.
Yeah, I think that's such a classic for Centurion. That's just such a good loadout for them. Yeah.
I really like it. Like for 100 points, you can get a lot of other similar characters, but for this guy, I like the fight, the 6 attacks that he gets with Rending. I think it's really fun. Yeah. I've then doubled up tacticals and to spoilers, so 2 squads of each. One of the despoilers, I've just made 11. So that when a character joins they're still 12, so they can go in a Rhino.
Perfect.
And then the other one, I've just made a logistical to unlock the Dreadclaw.
Got it.
And then they've just got dual lightning claws, a Vexilla Vox, and 2 power mauls.
Yeah, nice.
Tacticals are just a Vox, nice and cheap.
Yeah.
3 Rhinos.
Yeah.
So a defensive Rhino for 1 tactical squad to sit in with a Havoc launcher. And then 2 offensive Rhinos with heavy flamers, and one's got a Tozer blade.
Yeah, I love that. I love the distinction between kind of like a tactical Rhino and then an offensive Rhino, because those despoilers, they're going to be up, because that's what I found with Rhinos. You use them, you like before you know it, you're within like 3 inches of an opponent with your Rhino, and you're just like, I could be flaming this thing, and they could be like running away.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
And if you can get that like panic one off,
perfect.
They won't fall back. So when your despoilers charge, they're then initiative 1. So you've got that extra panache as well.
Yeah, love that.
And then I've given one a Tozer blade just so that it can go through terrain at no encumberment. And the plan with this is both characters join the despoiler squads, and they just kind of just bully other similar units. Because I think at 2K, you're not going to have a lot of like heavy big combat units, but you're probably going to fight quite a lot of despoilers and tacticals and breaches and things like that. So those 2 units are kind of there to just kind of bully, and then try and score the objective as well. And then within the Dreadnought Talon, I've just gone 2 Gravis Plasmas on 1 Contemptor.
Mate, that I did a video about this on Patreon the other day. It's a good unit. The double plasma cannon dread is just the go-to for me now. It's so good at killing tacticals off objectives. Yeah,
it's kind of, the C beams are good, but the small blast is nothing on the large blast.
No, that's what hurts it.
Yeah. So I really, really like this. And then I've also gone for a Gravis bolt cannon.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I haven't seen that in the wild yet. I love that.
Yeah. And the kind of idea between these 2 is the plasma cannon's the threat, and like, how do I describe this? Like, you've got the setup dreadnought and you've got the finisher dreadnought. So you kind of use one unit to set up the attack, and then use the other dreadnought to like finish the attack.
Mop up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when the blasts, after you've blasted like 7 out of 10 tactical marines, then if you try and blast it again with the same thing, you're getting so many less hits.
Yeah.
So then just the solid fire of knowing that you're going to get 10 or 12 shots, I think, is actually better in that sense.
Very interesting and very good point. My mind is churning now, but I love that.
Yeah. So it's like the 1-2, isn't it?
I love that. Yeah.
The setup and the finisher. And then the other thing is a Contempt of 2 chain fists.
Yes, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Being an anti-tank option, I think.
These are nutty, actually. And the problem is they do just, once you know what they can do, they just die like that. You're like, that could do 16 damage. That will kill your Kratos. Then it just dies. But I've taken him, I've made him the champion with the Ironclad so he can issue challenges, which is quite cool.
Very nice.
And he's then got a logistical Dreadclaw to go in, and his job's pretty much to just in 2K, he's there to hunt that big armor 14 thing that I probably can't I just can't
deal with them with the shooting.
Yeah. So he then goes in turn 1, preferably. He charges out, blows it up, and then from that point onwards, I can just rake fire down onto them. With the dreadnoughts and the predators. So.
That's really interesting. This, I think we've spoken about this before in a Dreadclaw, because I personally think there's 3 ways to run Contemptors really. Maximum, which is double plasma, double C beam, and then this guy, which is the double Gravis chain fist in a Dreadclaw. If you did want a close combat version, I mean, you could give him double melter as well, and then just drop him behind your opponent's fell blade, and then it potentially could just go on 1 turn.
It's just insane, isn't it?
Because I think it's armor value 12, isn't it, on the rear of like a fell blade and stuff. It's just gonna go. And against the Typhon, this thing is, even without the grav, it's just without the melter, it's just gonna go. Love it.
they're almost not guaranteed, but you've got a pretty good chance of just uppercutting a normal land raider.
Yeah, 100%.
In like one attack.
You'd have to get really unlucky to not
Exactly.
get it
Yeah. And then against Kratoses and Typhons, you just need 3 hits and 3 glances because it's got armor bane, so you can do it fairly comfortably as well.
And is it on the chain fist? Is it -1 attack like normal chain fists, or is it not?
So it's 4 attacks.
That's really good. That I mean, like a world eater's one of these would be pretty.
It'd be unbelievable. Yeah. And then I've gone for the heavy flamers and the havoc launcher on him as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Mainly because if he then needs to charge like a 10-15 man tactical squad, he needs to kill some guys before he goes in. Otherwise, he's just going to spend the whole game fighting that unit. And the heavy flamers and the havoc launcher all being blast and templates, you can actually hit quite a lot of guys, which is like pretty nice. And being implacable as well, having implacable advance, he can volley fire with the heavy flamer.
Yeah, I love that. I do love the fact that he could like
do more hits.
He can come down like flame and havoc like one unit, and then go and hunt the AV-14.
Chance of Dread.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, it's cool.
Really
cool.
Good.
Okay, talk us through the armor support then.
Yeah, so bit light on points now, but I wanted to get another like good effective blast weapon in.
Yeah.
To kind of like work alongside the dual plasma contemptor. So I've just gone for the C beam.
Love it. Great shout.
Giving him all the gear.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're going to spend the points on this guy, you need him to be working it every turn.
100%.
And if people have got heavy support squads, you probably want to return fire to them. I don't even shoot them. I just let them shoot me and then shoot back.
Mate, I was saying in the Patreon episode that I did yesterday that Paul did. He declared a return fire with some autocannons into this. And then I was like, oh, hang on a second. I'm not sure you can do anything.
You can't hurt me.
And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, no, you literally can't even glance this thing out on the return fire now. Like, he was like, oh, so just like strength 7 is just useless on the return fire. Love it.
Yeah. Cool. And then with the havoc launcher as well, it's just another status. I think in hindsight, though, I would actually give this guy Volkites, because you're generally actually hunting infantry over like armor and stuff.
Somebody on the show previously had made this point, and they said that I probably wouldn't go for lascannons. I'd go for heavy bolters or Volkites because actually you're hunting infantry. I suppose my counterpoint to that was that you're hunting elites. Often with this thing, it's you never you can usually on a squad of 5 you can usually comfortably take out 3, and I suppose my point to them was like those 2 lascannons are just there to try and get rid of those last 2 2 Terminators or whatever. So and
then I've also found as well the problem with the lascannons is generally the tank always moves because you always want to pull back,
they're going to be damage 1, aren't they?
Or flank to try and get your like AP2 damage 3. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair.
But in a pinch, you can still return fire with the lascannons as well because they are defensive now, so it isn't bad. And then I've gone for my 3rd edition Wasps. So previously these were just Volkite Landspeeders, but they're now just Volkite Preds.
Right.
So they're really, really cheap, these guys. They're 120 points each, which is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everything strength 6 or below.
Right.
The turret is 8 shots, damage 2.
Whoa, 8 shots
for 5 points as well.
Wow.
So
that's great.
You don't get the damage 2 on the T flag, which is a bit annoying.
Do you not?
No, D flag loses AP and damage, which is found that when I played a glaive the other month. I was like,
interesting.
I can't believe it. This is
like
because you remember the glaive from first ed,
mate. It was insane. It was insane.
Oh, how
there was nothing that thing couldn't destroy.
It was, oh my god.
They've never been able to balance it. That's the problem.
No, they really haven't.
They can't they give it because last edition was like something. It was just terrible. Was it AP3 last edition? I can't remember.
Yeah, and it did like a. Oh, yeah, it was.
They just can't balance it because the moment it goes to AP2, it just becomes it's just too destructive.
oppressive. Yeah,
But like I mean, the easiest thing to do would just be to make it breach 5+, and I think it would probably
definitely.
sort of a lot of its issues. But
Yeah,
it's in the
yeah,
same
yeah.
place as before, which is that it's very expensive,
Yeah.
it's very survivable, but the weapon on it like could potentially do absolutely sweet FA to
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
Terminator
yeah.
squad. So yeah, they've just
Uh,
not been able to balance it since first edition,
yeah,
really.
it will kill tactical
Well, since
marines,
it was
but
ever came out.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
yeah.
So these Preds are they're there to finish off the units that the blasts kill the most of,
Hmm.
because they're fast, they're maneuverable. You can sit still for 2 extra shots, or you can just get into better positions. I've also found actually just driving through enemy units and doing D6
Yeah,
hits is almost better than standing still and shooting those
yeah,
2 extra Volkite
interesting. Yeah,
shots.
yeah, yeah.
So these guys they just generally sit on flanks, and they just kind of work alongside the Dread and the other Pred to just
Mm.
kind of like pick off units as well.
Dirt
And
cheap, 120 points.
dirt cheap,
Dirt cheap.
really annoying. They put a status out as well.
Mm.
If you roll well, it's like a lot of hits, and
Yeah.
being strength 6, you can do quite a lot of wounds.
What's your thoughts on
Really good.
the place of like in comparison to a heavy support squad now? Because I've been playing around with the Volkite heavy support squad, getting them to infiltrate with our Midas Diner, and I'm just a bit like,
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm just like not quite convinced that heavy support squads are just not in the same place as they were in second edition. But like on
Yeah.
paper, they should still be okay. But I'm just not getting a lot of use, as much use as I got before, and I would just wonder whether like a Predator with Volkite macro Saker is perhaps a better option than a Volkite heavy support squad.
You can get 2 of them for the cost of your like Predator team,
Yeah,
which are then immune to the Volkite squads, generally speaking.
yeah,
They're fast, they're
yeah, it's true.
maneuverable, they put out not as much shots, but on
Yeah,
par.
yeah,
I just find, as similar to you, I just find the heavy support squads in this edition, I think the biggest thing I find with them, which why I don't like using them, is that it's the one reaction a turn.
yeah.
So the movement phase reactions are so powerful now,
Mm,
and they always want to be saving a reaction for like a return fire.
yeah,
So you want to kind of get them to move so their guns are
yeah,
less powerful.
yeah,
The autocannon ones, if you're like an Imperial Fist, I think, or like a Death Guard potentially, because you can move and still get 3 shots, is probably
yeah,
the way to go.
yeah.
Maybe even the plasma cannon ones as well, because
Hmm.
you can just move and just shoot
Shoot
blast
them.
weapons, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
But the las cannons and the Volkites, the Volkites being 3 shots if you move, is just wild. Like
yeah,
going
yeah.
from 4 to 5 to 3 now
Yeah, it's
is
nuts.
just like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
hell? So
I found that it's just when you move, there's just not enough shots being pulled out from that thing. That's
yeah,
the big issue.
yeah. And they're just 3-up save Marines. So
Yeah.
you can just shoot them with just bolters and they just die. So
Yeah, I see a lot of predators in my future.
yeah.
Cool.
Preds and rhinos, the
Yeah,
king. So
yeah, Rhinos, 100%. It's amazing.
yeah.
It's just that 4-5. The fact that it's gone to 5 whole points. It's that
And front
fifth
armor
whole point.
12. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so good. Right, anyway,
5
let's
whole
talk
points.
about your
Right.
2.5k list.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so talk us. Yeah, so this is very different from that one. So talk us through your 2.5k.
Yeah. So I've focused this one on the Spearhead Phalanx, and I've tried to play more into kind of that, and more into a like quintessential Iron Hand army, I suppose you'd say.
Mm.
So I've gone for the Iron Father, which is the big boy Iron Father. I've gone for the Immortals, and I've gone for the Gorgons, and then I've gone for 2 pieces of like heavy armor.
Love it.
Um,
Couldn't be
and
more
then-
Iron Hands if we
couldn't
tried.
be more Iron Hand. Yeah. And having those 2 big tanks,
Mm.
I also went for a Forge Lord, just so you can really heal both tanks up.
Love it. Yeah.
And the whole idea is you kind of keep those 2 10 whole point tanks kind of like pretty high.
Yeah.
The Kratos has got the Armustus Necrotechnica as well, so it can
Yeah.
heal.
Elisa.
The Spartan has the same heal on a 5+ as well.
It's going to be so like completely and utterly soul destroying to your opponent when
Exactly.
you're just like, boop, 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 boop,
And it's practical
healing
shit.
everything all of the time. Yeah, I love that.
This goddamn.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of built that into the core of the infantries as well. So I've got a big block of Immortals for the Forge Lord to sit in.
Yeah.
And his job's, generally speaking, to just be annoying, get in the way. He is a Paragon of Battle with a Thunderhammer, so he is quite killy as well.
Yeah, nice.
And then the Iron Father will probably go with the Gorgons, but he could also, in a pinch, just go with the Immortals as well and have that really, really like tough blob.
Yeah.
then you've kind of, at that point, you've got that 1-2 punch. You've got
Mm.
the Gorgons, and you've got the Immortals with the characters in as well. Tacticals and a Despoiler squad, similar to the last list. Just in Rhinos with kind of their own job to do. So the Tacticals go in the Tactical Rhinos, and the Despoiler goes in the Despoiler Rhino. I made the Despoilers combat vets.
Yeah.
I did think about giving them interdiction cadre, but I thought this one it's probably better to just have the whole army mechanized, and I think it plays in more to the theme as well. Which I think is really
so
cool.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. Yeah.
And then I've just gone loads of grav guns on the Immortals and the Gorgons, and my thought process was kind of actually, if I come up against like Spartans and Land Raiders, just shoot the grav guns, try and pin them,
slow them down,
and then deal with them as and when I kind of need to. It's got 3 reactions because it's got a high command, so your Despoilers and Tacticals could get back in their Rhinos when stuff comes to like take objectives off them, so it keeps them quite safe. And then there's quite a lot of bullies as well, so you can return fire with the Spartan, which is pretty savage as well.
Nice.
In hindsight, I should probably find 40 points for the Locus on the Kratos.
That makes sense.
There's not a lot of fat in this.
No, it's not. No. You could maybe remove 1 or 2 Gorgon Terminators, couldn't you?
Gorgons are quite interesting because you can buy them Vexillas as well. So
I didn't realise that. Oh, that's really good. That's really
it's only being weapon skill 4, but with the Vexilla and being bulky 2 is actually quite nice. So I think this is. To me, this is like a first ed Iron Hand list.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love it. It's brilliant. It's nothing. It screams Iron Hands. I mean, it's not low model count. You got a lot. You got a lot of infantry there.
22. There's still 60 infantry,
amazing,
and they're all Iron Hand infantry.
And amazing what you've done with just 1 extra detachment. That's all that's required. Really interesting. Cool. Okay, let's have a look at your 3K list and let's see how we've expanded that one out then. Oh, this Saturnine Terminator squads. Oh, this is naughty, isn't it?
This one's a lot more fruity.
Yeah, okay, nice.
So I've tried to kind of theme this a bit more around things that it's kind of a bit off meta and it's kind of a bit different to what I classically take.
Yeah.
But I really think it's got legs as well.
Yeah, okay.
So I've used the Apex in this. Even though I've taken quite a lot of characters to unlock stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean you've got a champion. We're taking the veteran cadre as well. Like it's quite an elite.
So, but I've kind of made it a bit different as well. Cool. So I've gone for a small Iron Father, so he can go in a Rhino, or he can go in a Termite. Taking a Siege Breaker for the same kind of thing. Taking a Legion Champion in Terminator armor with Paragon of Battle, so he's essentially like a Praetor now, which is really good.
Yeah, really good.
Then we've got 3 10-man tac squads. You've got 1. So the unit that's got the prime combat veterans, that's the like home field objective one.
Got it.
And then the other 2 go in the Rhinos with the heavy flamers, which I was probably going to put the Iron Father and the Siege Breaker in.
Nice.
Because they are both quite killy characters. And the Siege Breaker wants to push forward to use his Phosphex bomb.
Phosphex bombs, yeah.
As well as intelligence check to call in barrage. And then via the champion, we've unlocked the veteran cadre, and I've gone for a big old block of Morlocks. It's 375 points. I thought it was 350, but they're even more expensive than I thought they were.
Pricey.
And they've just got 5 chain fists, 5 grav guns, the Volkite culverin on the sergeants.
That's so fun.
That's a typo.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a Volkite.
Because it should be a grav gun.
Okay, got it.
Quartermaster need to fix their shit.
Can he even take a Volkite culverin like a augmenter?
Yeah, that's.
Can he? Oh my god,
that's like his special piece of equipment.
That's crazy.
But they're then going to go in the Dreadclaw.
Right. Yeah.
So they're going to kind of like hunt side objectives and side vehicles. I've then got a veteran breacher squad.
Whoa.
Yeah, and these are going to go in the Termite.
Right. Yeah.
And they've got Lascutters as well. So I don't know if anyone's really paying attention to Lascutters this edition, but they're pretty wild.
What do they do?
So they're strength 10 AP2, only 8-inch range.
Okay.
But they're damage 2 ordnance damage.
Whoa.
So if they stand still and use the
Ooh.
Iron Hand advanced reaction,
Yeah, okay, that's
they're
nice.
4 damage, which is
Wow,
pretty
that's
mad.
crazy. Yeah.
And then being in the termite, you can challenge enemy objectives fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
And you can use other units in the army to soften units for them to then vanguard them off. So having the las cutters and having the volkites, they do put out quite some fairly good shooting. And you can like heavy flamer one squad from the termite, heavy flamer another squad, melter the tank, and then just pick off with the veteran breacher squad as well.
Yeah.
It's also quite a good use for your immortals. If you don't want to use immortals, you could use the models on your veteran breachers as well. So I thought that could be quite fun.
Yeah.
And then in the Apex, the Medusan Vanguard, unlocked by the Ironfather, we've got a Pravian. Similar principle to what we have talked about earlier. He's an ironclad.
Yeah.
So he then unlocks a second a second dreadnought.
Yeah.
Within the detachment, he's then got a mana pool of 4 Castellax, and this unit does 3 statuses when they shoot. So you've got the panic from the flamer, you've got the suppressed from the maulers, and you've got the pinning from the graviton. And this unit is essentially there to just go and just annoy scoring units on objectives. Do you know what I mean? They're not a high threat unit, so generally I think they will just be left alone.
Yeah.
But they are annoying to get rid of. And they're just going to just wander forward.
And you can fix them up as well. Yeah,
and,
that's it,
and you can just heal them up.
Yeah.
And then I've gone for 2 Saturnine
Love this.
Terminator squads.
Love this.
And I've given them all plasma because I've got the Siege Breaker.
Nice.
So his job.
He's got his Cognis Signum.
Yeah,
clever.
So he's just going to spot for them.
Yeah.
And they're just going to stand still and just shoot plasma.
Does it scatter with the Cognis just 1d6 like it would usually?
No, the Cognis makes them hit like a normal blast weapon.
Oh, like a normal blast weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
lush, you just roll your 3 or 6 shots and hits and scouts, which is nice. But Barrage is a bit different now. So, but I'm sure you could do another episode on that because it's a different change. So they're just there to just hunt scoring units on objectives and like 3-up saves and stuff.
Love that.
And then we've got 4 quads.
Yeah.
Which also fire indirectly. So you've got the Siege Breaker for that as well.
I mean, this is why I take that conversation about Thalax we were having the other day on WhatsApp, because I was like, it's
these
like
kill
this that I've got to get rid of, because they're just so, because you put them right in the backfield, they've got 60 in range, you'll put them behind
in medium terrain,
literally, and you're just like, I need something to basically fucking crowbar those things off the table, because otherwise they'll just be raining down like 8 large blasts on you every turn, and your tactical squads won't be able to survive that. Like, there's no way they can survive that many hits, even at a AP5 or 4 or whatever it is, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then for the dreadnoughts, I've just got 2 box dreads with dual plasma cannons and havoc launchers.
Nice.
So
how much? So 140. Okay, so 30 points.
Yeah, 30 points cheaper. There is. I find the problem with dreadnoughts in this edition is if you need it to die, it just dies.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'd rather save 30 points on each dread for these. They are slower though, so like you kind of need to set them up better than the Contemptors.
Are they heavy as well?
Yeah. So they are quite slow, but I think the less points for the plasma cannon output, I think is still very, very good.
A higher cool though than they'll have a higher cool as a result of that.
Weirdly, yeah. But then the whole premise of this army is actually built on it doesn't have there isn't like a heart to kind of fight.
Yeah.
So it's I know you and I have talked about this in the past. It's
so bitty. It's so bitty.
Bitty is the exact phrase for this as well. And because you've got the Dreadclaw and you've got the Termite and you've got the Rhinos, which are carrying kind of combat units, but it's more just a line 2 with a good character. It is quite mobile. And it can kind of get around and get where it needs to go, and it can open up armor 14 if you need to open up armor 14. But also, if you don't, you just don't bother. You just don't shoot it. Yeah. And it's kind of designed just to play the objectives. Yeah. And hunt line and then score line. Do you know what I mean? It's got lots and lots of scoring. Pretty much everything scores except the rhinos and the termite.
Yeah, nice.
And the Castellax. Castellax don't score, I think.
Yeah,
So,
I think I mean it scores, but I think the veteran breaches are Vanguard, aren't they, as well?
they are, they are Vanguard free, and yeah. So I think it's quite interesting.
It's
I
very,
think it's
very
very
interesting.
fun. Yeah. I'm playing Ollie tomorrow, and I'm gonna use this. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how
yeah.
he deals with it. I'm not sure what the best way. Like to me, it might be to see if we can get rid of that Siegebreaker early on, because then that
Kill him. Yeah.
like some of your plans of using his Cognis might collapse there.
Agreed.
Probably deal with the line 2. If I can stop
100%.
you from, I can't stop you from scoring, but I can stop you from scoring more potentially.
Yeah. There's only 3 line 2, so
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. But exactly as you say, I think it's a good way to describe it. Bitty is a more pithy way to say it. But yeah, you're right. There's no heart to take from this army, because if you do remove one part of it, you've still got all the other kind of like pieces to
exactly.
deal with.
Yeah. And I think as well, I think the first page is quite quintessential third ed.
Yes, 100%.
But the second page is definitely stuff that I don't think you're seeing much. And
No,
I think in time you will start to see them more.
And the reason for that is because 1, 2, 3, 4 of those units are on the legacies, aren't they?
So they are, of course.
Warlock, veterans, Castroferum are, yeah. And then the Saturnine are interesting one, because I think number one, they're Marmite, but they're not necessarily you must take them in order to win games, like, because they're not broken, like they're quite well balanced,
absolutely fine.
But the Plasma Bombard, I think, is probably the most optimized of the loadouts and works perfectly well with the Siegebreaker as well. I love this. And again, you've taken just only in a 3K list 2 extra detachments. That's it. You've been really lean all throughout the list building process. For me, I'm like, I'll take this detachment, this one, but it just goes to show you how vast the Medusa and Vanguard can get with the fact that it's got command with the can take a logistical benefit as well. So
I've taken the Siegebreaker principally just to be the spotter. I've used him less as a character to unlock detachments and more as just having like a battlefield role.
100%.
And the champion as well, I've taken him as a battlefield role to give the Morlocks that kind of bite in combat, but also to unlock those those like 3 awkward slots. Which really, I've spoken to you about that in the past. I didn't realize that existed for like
for like
a month of the game.
It's brilliant.
Like,
I think it's like at 2K. I mean, your 2K list,
perfect, isn't it?
If you want to take elite units and a tank and keep things small, the veteran cadre is probably the way to go. If you don't have a legion that has like a supremacy cadre or something like that, right? Lovely. Okay, well, that was an absolutely fantastic discussion. Let's just move to the last slide, please.
Scroll down.
I mean, I knew they were tough, but it is interesting seeing it all kind of like laid out on paper in terms of like the amount of feel no pains that they get, and the fact that like their terminators are just so tough. I knew it, but not until it was spelled out exactly how tough. You kind of like, well, bolters are just like wounding terminators on 6s, and you're like,
which is mad to think.
It's crazy.
It's like, what the hell?
And like, I guess strength 5 Volkites are going to be wounding Saturnines on 6s as well, right? So
metal guns wound them on 4s, which is mad,
which is crazy. So absolutely love it. They're clearly a top tier legion. I think the other thing about those 3 lists as well, I think you can, even if they are Iron Hands, they're just tougher. But actually, there's some good, useful things for every legion out of those. Those
I think so. 100%.
But the thing about the Iron Hands is just they're just super resilient. Like that's the big thing for me. Like their resilience is the thing that just makes them so stand out. But what's your thoughts on just 3K? Third edition, just at this moment in time, like where we're at with it?
Oh, I really am struggling with third ed. Not in a sense of I find the game hard to play. I actually think the game's the easiest to play out of all 3 editions.
Right.
Which I think a lot of people kind of generally disagree with me, but I think how powerful line is now
Yeah.
has really created a vacuum in kind of unit choice. So if you want to win loads of games, I think 6 to 8 line every game in rhinos,
It will just win you the game
I
outright.
think it will just win games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So then you need to then take units that kill those units.
Yeah.
So Kratoses are a lot of points, but you're pretty much guaranteed to kill a rhino or 2 a turn.
Yeah.
So you can open up the guys inside quite easily.
Yeah.
And then you kind of need blast weapons to just kill off whole squads quite
Brutalize
quickly.
them. Yeah.
I still haven't really got my head around Vanguard yet. I'm still trying to work out ways to get that to work.
Yeah.
But as much as I don't like third edition for the prevalence of line and the power of line, I think if you, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you just want to have fun, and you're not too worried about taking line, the game's so much more open and expansive. There's so much more scope for just different stuff, for like usable stuff.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think the game's absolutely great. And if you come up against like-minded people, then you can have a really, really fun time.
100%. I
it's kind of weird.
Just to add to that one. I mean, it's funny because I haven't watched it all the way through, but Honest Rob told us how he had saved Heresy yesterday. But I mean, he made some points about missions, but I was also writing missions yesterday for the event we're running this weekend.
Of course, yeah.
And it was really important to me before I started that writing process with the 4 or 5 missions that I was writing. That they weren't all just like objective and scoring. It was important to have, kill point missions in there. And,
like table quarters is a good one.
Sector control.
Sector control, that's exactly it. Yeah.
And those were really important because I think that with the 3 core missions that everybody will tend to play, just for like pickup games and stuff, exactly as you say, you'll get into the mentality of being like, well, if I just take loads of line and rhinos, I'll just win.
It's fun.
But if you are going to events where 2 of them are scoring, or like 2 of them are actually like kill point, they're different kinds of kill points, but essentially they're kill points. One of them is sector control and one of them is objectives. It does mean that you're probably less likely to build and spam scoring because you're going to have to take a broad and balanced list in order to deal with the variety of missions. And I think that's like one of the things I think is important for EOs to think about, is to try and create those broad and balanced missions in order to discourage people from just being like, exactly as you say, take 8 line units and 8 rhinos. Because it just becomes, because again, it's the same almost as 2.0, which is that you'll just get carbon copies of lists. And the only thing that will be different between them is just like their elite unit and their Legion rule.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's good. I think the sooner, like, it's funny because we must have all these like missions floating around from like event organizers and
the amount of event packs that you and I probably
literally
have.
But the problem is we often forget those things because like we only live for the here and now. So it's that like we almost need like a centralized database as Heresy players to have like all the missions on, where people can just have a compendium and be like, oh, let's just roll like 2d6 and the first dice is like 2 and the second dice is 6, so let's go to mission 26. And then they're just collated, and then it might encourage people to build like broad and balanced this. And that's one of the things about this SN tournament in I mean, I know Steve will create like 5 missions which are varied. Like there'll be a kill points mission, an objective mission, but it does make me think like, are the top 3 like armies just going to have like 10 line and 10 rhinos in, or 10 line 10 Oroxes or whatever, because that's just the way to basically win this edition, which is
exactly
it's funny, isn't it?
It's interesting because I think like Pardo especially, when you went to the second eds tournament, there was a restriction on how much line you could take.
That's right.
Which we all balked at. We're all like, that is like, why the hell would you restrict line? But now I'm thinking, I like
probably
that.
the best way to do it.
That is actually a good way to do it, because you will just create more balanced lists. And
100%.
Another thing as well to think of possibly, especially as you, because you're writing missions, is I think not scoring objectives turn 1
Yeah.
is actually another good way to do it, and
Yeah.
maybe have that you can only score turns 2 and 4. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's true. I think the other
So
mechanic which you can switch on just really easily is you switch it on at the end of the game turn,
correct.
because at
Yeah,
the moment all three are in the book are at
it's
the end
just
of the
player
player
turn.
turn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's always, it creates a much more interesting and sometimes fraught dynamic
Yeah,
in a fun gaming sense, which is like you've got to that person has to survive the first turn, and be well placed in order to gain the objectives, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
think in that scenario where you're scoring at the end of the turn, if the second player, the person who goes second, has Vanguard, they are much more likely to get those Vanguard points
suddenly,
off
yeah,
because
exactly.
people are
Yeah,
going to be sitting on objectives hoping that they're going to be able to score them.
they're gonna
And
have to.
and
Yeah,
then that
yeah,
person has the choice of, well, do I sacrifice the Vanguard points, or do I try and stick around on the objectives? So these
yeah,
are
yeah.
they're all like small things for kind of like event organizers to think about when they're writing missions. But yeah,
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking like I must at Heresy Hammer HQ, like for all the in 3.0, must create like a laminated compendium of all the missions that
Yeah,
we create,
yeah.
and just like hole punch them, put them in, and then people can just kind of like pull it out and be like, let's just play this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think that's a really good way. Yeah, yeah. Because you could do D66
Yeah, literally
for
that.
for the
Yeah,
10, and
yeah,
then so you'd have
yeah,
like 36 missions
yeah,
you could
yeah,
quite comfortably,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you could just add, you just keep adding in.
Keep
You
adding
know what I mean?
on. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, well, we got off a tangent of other Iron Hands and just more of the state of 3.0 there, but
Yeah,
let's just
yeah,
move
yeah.
to the
It's interesting. Yeah, I think
yeah,
Iron Hands
definitely.
play third ed quite well
Yeah,
because
100%. Yeah.
their troops are just quite
They're
survivable
just
to
resilient.
small
Yeah.
arms fire.
Yeah,
So
it's
I think they
perfect.
play
Yeah.
quite well, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they've done quite a good job of actually, although they've taken away rights of war and all that other stuff as well.
Yeah.
The Iron Hands have kept that aspect fairly true in the fact that they've got their two detachments are kind of like their rights of war from previous
Yeah, yeah,
edition,
100%.
and that you can take like Mechanicum in them, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. So I think Iron Hands are in a really good place, and I think they're a lot less oppressive than they were in previous editions. So
Yeah. And
I think people will get more enjoyment playing against them
yeah.
because
And hopefully we'll see Orth in the next part 2 Isfan journal.
riding around in that Bellblade with his
Yeah, man.
squadron of Kratoses.
Man, yeah, it'd be awesome, right? It'd be really, really cool to get
Oh
him.
God!
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's
yeah.
just say a few thank yous before we go. If we can just
Of
move
course,
to the
please do. Yeah.
next slide. Oh, it's missing a slide.
Oh, hang on. Shall we go ahead?
Oh,
There we
there we go.
go.
There we go. There we go. So,
Yeah.
so just a massive thank you to our top tier Patreons. As we said right at the start, we run a Patreon, and your support will help us to continue making a lot more shows. But just a particular thank you to all of our Patreons, all of you guys watching, but particularly to our top tier Praetors as well. And then we'll just go to the final slide just for a few reminders, and just a massive thank you to.
Oh, that is the last slide.
If you just go back one.
Back one. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go. Perfect. Just a massive thank you to Will for spending kind of 2 hours talking through Iron Hands with me today. It's been absolutely
Anytime.
fascinating and really interesting discussion. And yeah, just really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the people who've come on. But thank you ever so much for your time, Will. Really, really nice to spend
Anytime,
some
man.
quality time talking Horus Heresy with you.
Exactly.
And as we also
Build
don't
the
forget
bronze of brotherhood.
yeah, too right, too right. So just to say, make sure you check out Will's podcast, The Merchant Prince Things, which is on Spotify. I don't know. I assume it's on all like
check him out across the platform.
Like things, but Spotify is my preference.
5-star request, no rating.
Reviews, give them that. Yeah, make sure, yeah.
Share to your friends and family.
Absolutely.
Blah blah blah. The mares are up my ass.
And make sure that you don't forget to like and comment this video as well.
100%.
It
Most
is
important thing.
muchly appreciated because it just helps it to reach lots of other people.
Need to spread the good word of the Emperor of Mankind.
Too right.
Yeah.
And then don't forget as well, we've got our new Heresy Hammer HQ. We're open every Monday for gaming now. I think we've got one table left for Monday. So if you want to play or come and visit, even if you aren't booking a table and just want to come and visit, we had quite a few people visit last this last week, this week, I forget now. It's this week, isn't it? We even had somebody doing D&D propped in. They were like, "Oh, I've heard there's a venue being set up," and they were like, "We'd like to host some D&D like evenings." So I was like, "Let's talk." Actually, well, I didn't say that. I was like, "Show me the money." Is actually what I said. And then I said, "Let's talk." But yeah, so make sure you come and visit Heresy Hammer HQ if you're around about on Mondays, and if you are around about this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, or watching it Saturday and Sunday, we're hosting kind of like a informal event where it's just a soft launch, just to make sure kind of it runs smoothly and it works over the course of a weekend. So if you want to drop by and say hello, please pop in as well. Anyway, thank you ever so much again to Will, and thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Cheerio.